Welcome to Connections Count, where we talk about anything from life, work, and anything in between. I'm your host, Melody, and I am thrilled to be having a wonderful guest with us today, which is Suzanne Longone. Longone?
You got it.
Yay! All right, of Spinelli CPA, which is a Worcester, Mass, I have to say, woman-owned and one of the very few woman-owned CPA firms and tax firms in Massachusetts, correct?
That's right. We're actually not just women-owned, because there are several, but Massachusetts certified women-owned CPA firms.
What a distinction. And so, Suzanne, you're the firm administrator, and basically you are running the show in the office. And tell us a little bit how you got into it. How do you like working in that industry?
Well, thank you for inviting me to be here, Melody. And I want to start by saying, as of this month, as of May 2020, as of this month, this is our 5-year anniversary.
5 years? Holy moly! That's
5 years ago, I met you.
That's right.
Within a month after we started. And I think our story is very similar to your story, to a lot of others that bravely said, I am breaking away from corporate America. I'm doing my own thing. If I don't do it now, I won't.
It's true.
And it is intimidating, right? It's intimidating knowing you are starting from the ground up. You have to develop your business. You have to establish your connections. And Karen Spinelli is the owner of the firm. Her and I looked at each other and we said, we're not salespeople. How is this going to work? And, we met amazing people like you, like Lisa Casillo, others that just embraced us and invited us into their circle, invited us to others. And we learned that it's not about being a pushy salesperson.
Right.
It's about being real.
Right.
It's about developing relationships.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with you, because that relationship is going to be long lasting. Right. And you're not going to offend people by being a pushy salesperson, and learning from their lessons learned as well. Right. Because they're going to teach you the good, or they're going to share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's right. You invited me into BNI.
Mm-hmm.
I belong to the Worcester BNI group. I'm president of the chapter.
Yep.
Karen belongs to the North Leominster BNI and the chambers.
Right.
The chambers, the Worcester Chamber, the North Central Chamber in Leominster-Fitchburg, were invaluable at just embracing us, giving us opportunities to meet other professionals like yourself. And as a result, we are where we are today.
And so share with our audience.
We doubled our office space. We have the whole floor.
That's
in our
unbelievable.
building. We bought another CPA firm this year. Last year, we bought the audit practice of another CPA firm. And I'm just so excited. We're just so blessed to be where we are today. And it's because of making connections.
It is about connections. And I'm so excited for you guys. That's wonderful. And if you haven't been or haven't heard of Spinelli CPA, they're in a great location in the Worcester area. Share with the folks where you're located, Suzanne.
So we are right around the corner from where the Greendale Mall used to stand.
Yeah.
But right off 290. Right off 190.
Perfect.
And, timing-wise, 5 years to enter this market was perfect for us.
Mm-hmm.
I love what Bree from Bree's Sweet Treats said on her podcast. She said, her business rose from the ashes of the pandemic.
Isn't that exactly?
And we found that, Bree was not alone. Because of the pandemic, there were so many entrepreneurs. I know you predated the pandemic, but so many said, if I don't do this now,
Why
when
not?
will I?
Right. Why not take that chance? It's a time for me and to try and get out there and do something new, right? Take that chance on myself, right? I love it. And like yourself and Bree and others, you're bringing a wonderful service or product to the community. And you do way more. You're involved in way more than just what we're talking about. And we'll get to that as well, because I want people to know a little bit more about you. But it's true, right? When I purchased a business in the middle of the pandemic, people were thinking, why would you do that? That's crazy. But you got to go or take that chance or take that step when it presents itself. And I'm so glad that you guys have had that opportunity. Just the expansion of your offices on that whole floor is just amazing. And so now, what are you doing with that space? Are you offering workshops or anything related to your business?
Well, if you don't mind my just going back just one step.
That's okay.
So we found because of the pandemic that we really fell into a niche that we didn't expect. We do a lot of work with nonprofits. We do a lot of work with construction companies, real estate.
Really?
But we found that there was a whole sector of the community that really needed exactly what we offered. And that was entrepreneurs starting their own thing. We found that there's a common thread.
Yep.
And that is they know their craft.
Yep.
You know HR. Bree knows chocolatier. She knows making sweets. But knowing how to run your business is terrifying.
Amen.
Not even knowing what questions to ask. What type of entity should I be? How do I pay myself? How do I pay the bills? How do I track all of this in a way that the IRS isn't going to come knocking at my door?
So true, Suzanne. And for those listeners that are listening to this episode of our podcast, please make note. It's absolutely true. You don't know what you don't know. And you need to have connections in the community or know people who know people that can help you navigate those waters. Yep. So so that's where your niche is. That's where your expansion has been.
So we love working with startup companies.
Great.
And just meeting with Karen, and for those who haven't met her, what I love about Karen is she just speaks the everyman's language.
True.
Text, code can get so complex, but she knows how to speak your language.
Yep.
She loves teaching people about their businesses. And so she really helps people to understand, what does it mean to be a sole proprietor? At what point is it worth transitioning to an S corp?
Yep.
What are the tax consequences of those kinds of decisions? Helping to get them on accounting software, setting up the chart of accounts. We do training, consulting on how to run your business.
That's wonderful. We need resources like that. Absolutely. That's like a one-stop shop almost, right? With all that knowledge and information in that area. I love it. I love it. Keep going.
One last thing I will say is an unfortunate aspect of the pandemic that strongly impacted the accounting world is that many accounting firms just closed their doors.
Really? I didn't know that was...
Several firms closed their doors because the owners died. Some closed their doors because the owners said, I'm out of here. A lot of baby boomers said, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm retiring.
Right,
and it left a lot of people scrambling.
Well, that's
And as a
interesting,
result,
Suzanne.
many of the larger firms said, we are not taking new clients.
I knew there was a big impact in the restaurant business. Right? I knew that. I did not know that about accounting or that industry. That's unbelievable. Well, you knew it had a big impact across the world. I get it, but that's interesting to me. Wow.
Yeah.
And so what do those folks do?
So, clients are calling. clients are calling.
So you're
saying,
booming, you're bursting at the seams.
I don't know what to do. And we don't say no.
Love it. Love it.
We don't say no. We are here to help whoever needs us. So we're in the enviable spot where clients are calling our phone lines. They're coming in the doors. We are enjoying, word of mouth referrals.
So that must mean you must be hiring left and right then.
So business is great.
Great.
But we don't say no because we think we have something really valuable to offer for
You do.
people that really need what we're talking about. We are here.
You absolutely have something to offer because a lot of the average person doesn't know all those different roles or the dates that things are due or the implications if they're not met. Trust me, I know. And so I can attest to that. So having a partner, I would say a partner, not just a resource. I would say a partner that you can collaborate with or learn from is the way to go. And Spinelli CPA, I'm glad that you never say no. So for our audience listeners or for those that will be perusing the episodes and you happen to fall upon this one, please make note of this wonderful episode because there is a lot here that you can learn from. Reach out to their website, I'm sure. And again, you were going to expand. You do training, you said. Is it on-site or is it Zoom or is it a combination of both, Suzanne?
We have two offices, one in Worcester, one in Leominster.
Wow.
But actually, we have clients around the country. One positive aspect of the pandemic is that Zoom just became how the world runs. It's not for everybody, but we have meetings, trainings in person, by phone, or by Zoom. And It has just opened up a whole new world, not previously available. Before people would only consider maybe a CPA in their neighborhood or their town, but that doesn't matter anymore.
It's true. It is true. Wow. So not only do you have two physical locations that folks can go into, but now you also have clients across North America. That's fabulous. What an expansion in 5 years. Yeah. You should be so proud of
Another
yourself.
aspect of our business, and I know it's something that you wholly embrace, is our commitment to community.
Yes.
And so one thing that I'm proud of is that the CPA industry as a whole embraces giving back to the community. You may or may not know this, but the organization that kind of oversees what we do is the Mass Society of CPAs.
Okay.
CPA firms all across the state close their doors on June 6th.
I didn't know that.
And their team goes out to serve the community in some way.
That's fabulous. That's wonderful. What are you doing? And so June 6th, it's coming up. So what are you doing this year?
So let me go back a couple of priors. Last year, we went to the Boys and Girls Club of Fitchburg, Leominster.
Yep.
And our team we cleaned and organized their whole facility to get ready for their summer programs.
Oh, the kids must have loved it. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the Lego room.
Oh.
That was a challenge and not something to be done shoeless.
Oh, no, not shoeless. No, but how could you not get tempted to want to build something? I don't know if I could stay focused.
Because we do a lot of work with nonprofits. Mm-hmm. Every year we try to choose just a different client.
Yep.
To help. We helped the the Boys and Girls Club of Worcester the year before.
Okay.
We did landscaping, and I'm the only one that came down with poison ivy afterwards, but it was still well worth the effort. So,
and this year?
One of the things that we've done together is worked on the board of For One Child.
Well, that is true. Yes. Yes. And we do love being part of that organization and helping out in the different fundraisers that we can get involved in. And speaking about that, that's leading into our up and coming event that will be here soon. And we do have an annual one every year, which is our fabulous golf tournament. So excited about that, getting it going and meeting all the wonderful supporters and donors and sponsors that want to participate or have participated over the years to help raise money for us to be able to help in a variety of different ways because we are expanding. But it started with desks and chairs for the children to go to school. In an environment that's conducive to learning, as opposed to sitting on the ground in the dirt or having to, maybe jockey for a chair in the classroom. So yes, and we also, I know that you're involved in other things too. You're involved in your community church and a lot of other organizations on a personal note too, Suzanne.
True. To my core, I just believe that we need to pay more attention to people that society might leave behind.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And, I'm passionate about my work. Work pays the bills.
Sure.
But it's the things that I do outside of work that are just really personally fulfilling.
Yeah.
I love the work that you do in No Birthday Left Behind.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I love that.
What an amazing program. Can you just take a minute and talk about that? Because that's really special.
I would love to. Thank you for that. We actually help children in shelters. We're currently supporting the children's services of Worcester and Roxbury right now. So children in shelters that maybe don't have the ability to celebrate their birthdays. So we provide the birthday experience. Pre-COVID, it would have been in the form of hosting a birthday party. So once a month, all the children that would have birthdays in that month would come together and we would host that birthday party. Everything from decorations to the wrap gift. And decorations are everything from the streamers, the balloons, the noise makers, the cake, just everything. And then you'd have entertainment and some other things that would be great. Then we went into COVID, so that turned into birthday in a box. So we do the same thing, just put everything in a box and then deliver it to the shelter. And then they actually prepare the actual day and the event. So you're still getting that celebration, but it's more on an individual basis as opposed to bringing people together. And there are kids in each individual. So the way this shelter is set up, they have multiple, what I would call facilitators, right? So multiple locations where there are maybe a half a dozen kids at that location, children at that location. So we're providing goodie bags for, let's say, 6 to 10 kids that would be attending that birthday party as well. So it's fun, it's rewarding. There's a number of volunteers. We're always looking for volunteers because there's a variety of things that we can do. We're looking to expand, trying to find other shelters or organizations that we can help children. So if anybody hears of that, please reach out to Central Mass No Birthday Left Behind at gmail.com. We'd love to have a conversation. And also, for folks to donate things, we have an account on Amazon, we have an account on Walmart. I'm actually right now, Suzanne, which I'm wicked excited about, is in the process of filling out some grants that I found at local banks and institutions that help community nonprofits. So I'm filling out the applications. I figure it doesn't hurt, right? I may be late this year, but it'll help me, give me the experience for next year. But fingers crossed, we will hopefully win a couple, so that's money in the bank. Because we're a nonprofit, right? Everything comes through volunteers. Yes, we do take a little bit out of our pocket, but we really survive on the donations and sponsorships and and grants and things like that. So I know I took up your time, but this is all about you. It's not about me, but thank you for that, because I'm so excited about that nonprofit as well. So those two, For One Child and No Birthday Left Behind, are my babies, my little passion projects, as well as all the other things that I love to do. And I'm like you and Karen, I'm about informing and educating. That's what it's about. Taking my experience and taking my knowledge and helping either businesses or individuals, depending on what I'm doing, right? Whether it's marrying somebody, whether it's helping someone get back in the work world, whether it's teaching a class for a company on performance management, let's say, or helping an organization that has some HR needs. It's all about service. That's what I really feel is the common thread, and you have that same thread, and I think that's why you and I just have a bond. I really do. Yeah. I'm so thrilled.
You mentioned the For One Child golf tournament.
Yes.
So, and we would, for anyone watching this podcast, we would love for you to golf with us. Melody and I will attest to the fact that you don't have to be a real golfer.
You don't.
During the pandemic, we learned to golf. We always wanted to learn. We felt excluded from that golfing experience. We went to the golf simulators.
Well, we learned fast too. That's how you meet people. Right? Isn't that how you meet people, Suzanne, as well?
Yeah.
Right? So it was just a win-win, and you're right. We really don't count the numbers.
Yeah. And we enjoy going to charity golf tournaments, which is another way of giving back. Sometimes the marshals come along and they have to move us along a little bit.
A little nudge.
But we never keep score. We just have so much fun. And so anybody that wants to come and just participate in this golf tournament, you will have a blast. There's a dinner provided, auctions, raffles. It is such a fun way of coming, meeting other people, networking, and just making important connections, because that's what it's about.
It's so true. And let me add to that before we end. There is a meet and greet, right, next week at the Pine Ridge Country Club in North Oxford, where it's a wine and networking event. And I don't say networking, it's about learning about the organization, the nonprofit For One Child. So we'd love to have you come out there as well, so you can learn more about that and the golf tournament. So we'd love to have our audience come. So Suzanne, this has been awesome. I can't say it enough. I'm so happy that you were able to be here today. We've had this chance to talk. Can you believe the time has flown by? I can't believe it.
This has been great.
Remind folks how they can reach out to Spinelli CPA.
So you can check out our website. Actually, we have a new website that's going live within a week or so. It's SpinelliCPA.com. The number in our office is 508-365-6522. Oftentimes you'll get me on the phone. And or my email address, I'm happy to share, is slongone, LONGONE @SpinelliCPA.com.
Well, thank you, Suzanne. And thank you to you, the audience. If it wasn't for you, I don't know where it would be. And it's our goal to bring you connections of wonderful folks in the community. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to having you rejoin us again. Have a wonderful day.